After huge sell-offs could come huge recoveries. We're going to talk about it, and I was going to ask my bicycle to come up with a joke for this morning's video, but it was too tired. We're going to take a look at the SPY and the Qs and see what signs we have for any possible reversal going on there. And then also the three companies, Capital One Financial, Netflix, Microsoft. I'm going to talk about each of those in a technical analysis perspective. And I'll tell you about the free stocks from Moomoo. I'll tell you about where you can see my buys and sells through the Patreon, and also about my options course that I'm developing. In the meantime, as usual, let's get right over to the charts from there. So drop down, pop up, bam. All right, so here we got the SPY that we're looking at, and you can see the bearish channel that we're in, and we dropped well below that. And I was like, holy cow, yesterday, because I expected possibly maybe that we see that bounce. And if we actually go down to the minute chart from yesterday, we can actually see a little bit more of that happening. The bounce did happen, and it happened right down in here. So even though I thought a bounce was coming our way, I thought we would get it early in the morning, we actually got it later in the day. But now how does that set us up on the daily chart? Well, we have this hammer candle sitting right down here, and this is a bullish reversal sign for us. Now, mind you, it's not the only thing. We still need confirmation on top of that. So we'll be looking for a green candle to be popping up here. And notice that we have 430 right above that. So that's also going to be important for us that we watch that. And I said in some of my previous videos that this is going to be a game of retesting resistance levels, and that for this one, 442 is that ultimate retest level that we have. And then below that, we have 438, 434, and 430. So it's about $4 at a time, about 1%-ish at a time. It's a little under 1% when we look at it that way for the SPY. So it is possible that we are starting to see signs of that. Now, I do have to mention that at 8:30, we get GDP updates, the final estimates, the final numbers for Q2. That's going to be important for us. If we get slightly downwardly revised numbers, that's going to be something that could be bullish for the markets, as long as it's slight. If it's too much, then, well, we don't want to point towards signs of a recession, because then we get dragged down further from there. So a little bit of softening in GDP, that'd be good for convincing the Fed that, hey, you guys, our work we're in good shape right now with what we have. So I don't know about good shape, but what I mean by good shape is no further rate hikes from here, please. And it's something that I said I think the Fed is done, and I really do think that the Fed is done, and GDP is going to be something that helps that. And then the other thing that helps is jobless claims also come at 8:30. Now, when you watch this, it's probably after that, so we'll see the results of that. So if they do come in well above that 200,000 mark, I'm talking like 240, 250. I think that also is a little bit of upward pressure for the markets. If we come in the low 200,000s or below 200,000, I think we're going to see further downward pressure, and it's probably going to delay any sort of bounce that we get in it. So it is important that we pay attention to the market bias. With that said, let's move over from there to Capital One Financial. And they have had a rough time of things. And you can see that I have this broadening wedge pattern right here, and this could be a bullish reversal pattern that we have happening. Got a big red candle there, just crossing down into the oversold territory. So things are looking really rosy for a sharp climb. However, we don't have confirmation of the reversal on the daily charts. As we look at this, we want to see that cross back over 30, and we also want to keep watching our candlesticks here. And it is possible that maybe we get that enveloped green candle right in here that would sit below the high of this body and the low of this body right here. And that would be a bullish Harami candle setup that we would be looking for. And that could show us a reversal up to $100 from the 95.50-ish that we closed at yesterday. So that could be a quick 5% on this. And if you're just playing the stocks, good. If you're playing the options, that can be incredible for going in like a call option direction and being right about it. Now, you'd want to look for the opportunity to present itself. It's getting close. And I think that we really are pushing down that spring, and it's only a matter of time before it shoots back up. We are down below the 50-day and the 200-day. We are possibly seeing a death cross coming up, so there are mitigating factors. However, that is something that we want to watch for. You can see that happen back here, and you can see the rise that also went along with it. Now, mind you, that was during a different market environment where the market was doing strong. This is one that has Warren Buffett's backing on it, so it's one that his company does his homework on and invests in the long-term fundamental outlook. He doesn't pay attention to near-term volatility. So we're going to have to watch it. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods when we look at this one. However, we are starting to slow down the downtrend from 2022, and we have reversed that to where we're at right now. So we'll see if we're near the bottom of that thing. And if we look, there's a lot of support coming down around the $88, $89, $90 mark. So be looking for that. If we fall out through the bottom of this pattern rather than reversing here and going back to the top, and we have that 200-day, by the way, which is sitting right at about 102 as of the time of this recording. That would also be an area of resistance for us as we look to the upside of things. So 100 and then 102, and then we have this previous candles here at about 104. But I do think that this is very much worth keeping on your watch list for a possible bullish reversal on that one. So Netflix is the next one. Having trouble typing this morning, and you can see very much the same pattern that we have here. The sell-off, we're getting close to that 200-day, and that's something where we're also almost sitting on support on the candles here. And if we zoom out, you can see we retested that peak that's there, and we're mired in support as we look at this. So it is possible that we retrace on this one. Well, where does that put us? Well, we could get close to like 396, 398, and just above that, just north of that is 400. We could even come up as high as what we see with the 50-day coming down to meet it. That would put us over 400 at that 412 level. We would have to see what sort of rally we get from the markets, because the market bias is most definitely going to help Netflix in that. And with the RSI, we're in oversold territory. We want to watch for that, like I said, to cross back up over 30. Matter of fact, the cross of 50 is going to be an even better sign that we have there. But this is most definitely something that you should be watching. You want to take advantage of as it comes along, or else you could possibly miss it. If we do break down through this confirmation, we still have the 200-day to catch it, so possibly it does there. If not, if we break down through that, then we have a further fall to go. So right about there's the 200-day, and if we fall down from there, then we room down to, holy cow, like 348. So it still is possible that we have put option plays here, but being down near the bottom, I don't really want to put the puts out there because I don't know that we have that sort of evidence. All right, so real quick before I get to Microsoft, I want to tell you about the free stocks from Moomoo. Sign up using my link down in the description. Here are the deposit levels, each stock valued up to $2,000 a piece. Here's the free stocks that you have a chance that you do get with those deposit levels, including the free share of Tesla or Google. If you want to see the buys and sells, how I'm playing this market, how I'm capitalizing on the way down and up and profiting pretty much every day on this with no guarantee of profit for you. It's still something that you have to make your own choices, do your own decisions. You can do that through the Patreon. I have my NVIDIA stock price prediction and earnings projection over there, and I also have my options course that I'm building out right now. It starts from the very beginner, and it's going to go up through advanced options trading strategies. So make sure that you take advantage of that. All right, let's get over to Microsoft. So Microsoft is another one that I think is going to spring back up for us. So for this one is actually a descending wedge, and that's different than the ascending wedge that we had through Google. And you can also argue that we're pretty much seeing a bit of a double bottom here, even though this side is a little bit lower, which isn't great. It'd be nice if it was a little bit higher instead, or even with this one. Lower is a little bit troublesome, but it's still possible we come back up and we try out that 50-day that we have coming down to meet it, maybe going up as high as 326 per share. So that's 14, so about 4% onto Microsoft shares, and we'll see what we get from that. And if we break out through the top of this, then we can get a bullish reversal coming out of it, and we'll have to see how far the market sells off and what it does. And it is possible that we keep on narrowing for a while before we really start to take off through this. But this is most definitely a stock, a company that you should be watching. I think it's critical that you watch each of these and that we look for those signs. So more recently, I should say over the past 2 weeks, what was really good about 2 weeks ago was where we were at with the markets, and we were up much higher. There were a lot of things that were looking overbought, or that were up above 50, and we had that cross down below, and that made for really nice short positions and lots of profitability. While trying to short below that 50 on the RSI is much more troublesome because you don't have as much room for things, and it's harder to tell where exactly your bottom is on that. But now that we're getting towards the bottom and oversold territory on so many stocks, it is much easier to say, hey, let's watch for that next reversal, because that's where our next big gains are going to come in. I use options in order to build that out, and I do hope for cheaper stocks to come out of this, and taking that money that I got from the options plays that I do, rolling it into the stocks, into some of my favorite companies, SoFi, Tesla, NVIDIA, you name it. So I also do want to put out there, I have a live stream coming up with Stockmo today at 1 p.m. So I hope that you guys can join me. It's over at his channel. So if you don't follow Stockmo, go ahead and look him up, subscribe to his channel, watch our live stream, hit us up in the comments, talk to us. We'd absolutely love to interact with you. Guys, don't forget about the Patreon. That's where I post my buys and sells. It's where I have my research, and I'm putting out my Tesla stock price prediction and Tesla earnings projection through 2030. That comes out this weekend, so be on the look for that. I'm going to have it up as soon as possible. So if it's not this weekend, it's sooner than this weekend, and I think it is very much worthwhile. The NVIDIA stock price prediction and earnings projection is already out there. And then the final thing, your stocks from Moomoo, don't forget about those. So I'm using my link down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.